Hello, everyone. I am back after a few week hiatus, but don't worry, have no fear. I am back just in time for May. And in this month, we are going to be talking about the light within the shadows. We're going to be talking about this duality, this dichotomy between the light and the dark. And we're going to be really looking at and diving into this sort of cultural belief that we have that the dark is bad or scary or that we need to be afraid of it or that it's always a problem. We talk about the dark night of the soul or that we were in a time of darkness or the whole idea that the goal is to always be in the light and always be in the daytime and never have the shadows to look at and anything like that. And yet, what we know is that that's not really true, that there is actually incredible blessing to be had in the time of darkness, that there is something really rich and magical that happens when we set down those sort of old beliefs that we have about what the darkness means or about what shadows are. And instead, we dive into the wholeness, the totality of ourselves, those parts of us that we want to bring out into the light and show the whole world, and those parts of us that maybe we would really rather keep to ourselves and maybe put away into the shadows or that dark closet, the very back of it, where we don't have to tell people that that's part of who we are as well. And yet the reality is that that is a part of who we are. And there are great gifts to be had in the shadows. So this month, we're going to be focusing all about the light within the shadows, the blessing, the gifts that can happen when we're not afraid to step into the dark, to get down and get dirty, to plant those seeds, which, by the way, must be planted in the darkness of the soil to blossom and to really turn oil over that soil, that richness. This particular week, this coming Sunday, we're going to be talking about the inner and outer spectrum, about how it is that we get to bring all of our parts to full fruition, that we get to explore all of us, that there aren't parts of us that we have to hide away while other parts we show, but rather that we get to be a whole human being, all of the messy parts, the shadow parts, the bright parts, everything else, all at the same time. And the more that we allow ourselves to do that, the more that we give ourselves permission to really blossom and grow in our gifts, whether that's at night, during the day, or some other time, the more that we give other people permission to be their whole selves. There's a quote that I absolutely love that says, "People are dying in the shadow of your light." And so, as long as we refuse to look at our own shadow, as long as we refuse to turn around and look at the whole parts of us, even those parts that we don't want to look at, as long as we continue to do that, we are continuing to harm ourselves and other people on the planet. And so, what we must do is we must turn away from this bright light that is the only thing we ever want to look at. And we get to look at those messy parts. We get to find the blessings. We get to find the gifts. We get to really dig in and get our hands dirty. So I hope that you will join me this Sunday at Celebration Center as we get our hands dirty with this topic, the light within the shadows. I love you all.